Well. Good morning to all of you out there in TV land, in online land, in radio land, in telephone land. However you're tuning into this show today, I want to welcome you. My name is Cyril Jervis, a.k.a. CJ, and I want to, first of all, thank you for taking the time out to be on this wonderful TV broadcast this morning. It is Tuesday. I think the date is April 9th. There you go. And we're so excited to have you here. I'm in the Chicagoland area, and believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing a heat wave. Yes, it's about time. We're going to see upwards of 67 degrees today, and the sun is shining. And with that in itself is having my spirits up, my excitement level up. But what really got me excited today is what we have planned for you on this show today. And I'm telling you, you are in the right place at the right time. I have a wonderful, wonderful guest that's going to be a part of our show, ready to give you some information that's going to literally blow your mind. But before I do that, again, I want to welcome all of you that are tuning in from all around the world. I know my friends in Africa are tuning in. Those of you over in the UK, all over the United States, my family in the Bahamas, I sent you the text this morning. You better be on right now. If I don't see you, I'm going to be talking to you, okay? But thank you for coming on. I know you could be doing something else early this morning on a Tuesday morning, but you decided to be a part of this, and I promise you it will be worth every minute of your time. So let me ask you this. Are you ready for a breakthrough today? Well, you have it coming. So some of you are on this call for the first time. You're saying, well, what is this show all about? What is GMAP1 all about? GMAP1 is a Christian broadcast network that actually expands across the globe into over how many countries? 160 countries. I'm just talking to our producer, founder of GMAP1, Pastor Kevin Strada. So happy to have him here today because he makes things happen, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to be, one more thing I want to say about GMAP1. All of you that are tuning in, please join this network so you can be a part of what he's doing and how he's changing lives and really passing on and carrying on the word of God into his music and entertainment and also informational shows. GMAP1. So call your friends, have them sign in and listen to the show because you're in for a breakthrough today. You're in for a breakthrough today. This show is designed primarily to do one thing, and that is to share the love and share information about a wonderful company called Shop Free Mart. If you haven't heard about it yet, you are going to hear about it today. But you are not only going to hear about it today, but in the future, this name, Shop Free Mart, is going to be a household name where everybody is going to know about it. Everybody is going to want to be a part of it. Why? Because this company is focused. This company is dedicated to changing lives all around the world with health, with wealth, and with time freedom, and the ability to help individuals, especially those who are marginalized, who are downtrodden, those who are kicked to the side, feeling like there is no hope. I used to feel like I was the only one that had that passion, but I'm coming to find people like our special guest today, people like other members of our leadership team or with Shop Free Mart. A lot of people feel the same way, and we have now the platform, the vehicle to really make this happen. So I'm thankful that you're here today. I want to tell you a little bit about this mandate that Shop Free Mart has, which is to basically share the love and share these awesome products and programs and opportunities with people around the world. It was founded by a gentleman by the name of Mr. John Austin. If you haven't heard about him, this man is unbelievable. He is a visionaire, absolutely divinely guided to start this company for such a time as this. He saw all kind of problems, all kind of trickery, tricksters in the industry of direct sales, all kind of dishonesty in the whole free enterprise where people have the ability to really make a difference, but we're doing it underhandedly or backstabbing and all those kinds of things. And he made the conscious decision that he was going to start a company that was going to be contrary to all those things. He decided that he was going to bring honesty and integrity and transparency back to free enterprise, back to network marketing, because the black eye that this industry has had for years is about to be erased, and it's going to be erased by individuals who become a part of Shop Free Mart. And so it is a company that has great leader, a guy who's been involved with the industry for over 54 years. He's a research scientist. He is also a nutritionist, an expert on compensation plans. So would you believe that we have the absolute best compensation plan, the rewards plan in the industry? I can promise you, yes, that is the case, because John Austin has mastered these things over the years. He's also done a lot of research into health and nutrition, just like our special guest today. So I'm telling you, he is a man that has a heart for people, heart to help, not only for human beings, but pets and also the planet. So he has included the whole gamut in, as far as helping this planet in every area. Individuals who are going to feel better, live better, and just continue to pass that word on to other people day after day after day. And I'm telling you, lives are being changed all over the world right now because of what John Austin did. What he did was he introduced us to a litany of products that actually does some very, very important things. It cleanses our body, first of all. I love that because I was told a long time ago is you have to clean out the kitchen first before you can start filling up with new things. Clean it out, get all the waste out, get all the gutter and all the things that are building up out so you can clean it. So he has provided us with awesome products that actually cleanse our body, cleanse our cells, and get it ready now to receive products like the minerals that actually help our body get stronger, minerals that we used to be able to get from the foods we eat because they were in the soils. Now they're not there anymore, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're doing, we're getting sick all the time, walking around in pain and agony because of not getting the nutrients and the minerals that our body needs. So what Mr. Austin decided to do, in his wisdom and genius, he decided that we will give to the world minerals to help our body. One of the most important things he decided to do was address an issue that everyone in the planet has to deal with, and that is hydration. Would you believe that there are so many people that's walking around dehydrated today, and dehydration has been proven to cause so many diseases, so many ailments, so many maladies that people sometimes don't even know that that is the root cause of it. So we've been on a mission and an intentional mission to hydrate the world. And we have a wonderful product called the Hydration Drops. So I can go through you to all of the products today. We have products like the Nano Silver, the Nano Gold, the Nano Copper. We have the Magnesium, an unbelievable product that actually helps with building up the muscle. We have the Immunize, the Vitalize. We have the Enviro products that are actually cleaning products that are so safe and just cancer-free that you can literally, just with these two products, throw every poisonous product out of your house and start fresh, where you are giving the opportunity to your family to live without having their bodies being ingesting these chemicals and poisons that are killing us every day. We have the Nano Card that's just awesome. I mean, there have been testimonies after testimonies of people using these Nano Cards to relieve them of pain, to relieve them of discomfort, and just doing so many more. Even people are using it to get better gas mileage and experiencing their vehicles running better. It's just unbelievable. All of these things, again, help the person to be healthy, help the earth to be healthy. And that is what John Austin's vision is. And I'm telling you, he has provided us with some awesome products. But you know what? He didn't stop there. He provided us with products that actually help us become financially well off, financially free. How many of you know somebody that is suffering not just from their physical health, but from their financial health? People who are hurting, trying so hard to make ends meet at the end of the month, working 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 jobs, part-time, staying away from their family, staying away from really increasing the chance of them being unhealthy because they're working so hard and being stressed out. And they're doing this because they have no choice. They have to make money in order to survive, to pay their bills, their utility bills, their mortgage, their rent, their car note, their credit cards, all these things they're working hard to do. Well, he introduced, Mr. Austin did, several products that we can utilize to help take us over that hump. A product called the Freedom Package. My goodness, this is such an unbelievable product that everyone in the world should be a part of it, because it allows you to be able to share this. And as individuals become a part of this Freedom Package and get qualified, you can build a phenomenal income on a monthly basis. If you want to get $500 a month, you can do that very simply with this program. If you want to do $1,000 a month, that option is available to you. You want to be a big thinker like myself and so many other leaders and want to make $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $50,000 a month. I'm telling you, with this plan and even with this particular product, the Freedom Package, you are able to do that, okay? We have another product called the Virtual Business Card. An unbelievable product where you can really just pass this out and share the love of Shaw Fremont or any business that you're in. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. You can be in real estate. You can be in ministry. You can be in finances. You can be in banking. You can be a school teacher, a mother, a grandmother. Just create this virtual business card, share it with people so they have your information right away, connect with individuals, because that's what we're all about, connecting with individuals all over the world to build a team that's going to make a difference in this world. And again, that's what Shaw Fremont is all about. So those two products right there could make you a multimillionaire. Will it happen overnight? Absolutely not. Are we making claims that it will happen for you? Absolutely not. All we're saying is that you are given through Shaw Fremont and the vision of John Austin the opportunity to be in position to make those things happen. And here's the thing, and here's the key about this company that I really like. So you have great products. We have another product that's coming out. I think it's out already, the iodine product. I just learned this past week that that is the most depleted mineral that the body needs, that it should have in order to function properly, and we don't have it. A lot of people are walking around iodine deficient and don't know it, and it's causing so many problems for them physically, and we have the answer. You know, I always say this. You can go into any meeting, any situation, whether it be in the civic arena, in the ministry, in religious arena, in the political arena, in the business arena, and you always hear about the problems. Well, how many of us are coming up with some of the solutions? That is what Shaw Fremont has done. They have come up with the solutions to these ailments, these problems, these situations that we are suffering so much from in our communities, where people are hurting every single day. And they're saying, we have the answer. And what I'm excited about is that you have it at your fingertips for free. So what is Shaw Fremont? Shaw Fremont, a lot of people describe it in different ways, but I just look at it as this. It's an opportunity for you to join a club for free for life and have access to unbelievable products, unbelievable programs, unbelievable training, access to individuals who can literally help you build your business, where you can create a giant of a business and an income, and then share that with your friends and family around the world. So to become a part of Shaw Fremont, there's absolutely no cost. Zero cost. Yes, you heard me right. It costs nothing to become a member of Shaw Fremont. In addition to that, what John Austin saw was that there were so many companies that require you just to be a part of what they do, to come into your pocket, write a check into your purse, pull your money out and spend $199, $999. One company came to me the other day and they wanted me to come up with $1,500 just to get started. And here John Austin say, why? Why should you have to pay me to help me share with my products and what they do? So he said, you do not have to purchase any products in order to be a part of what Shaw Fremont is. So again, no entry fee, no auto ship, no jumping through hoops to get qualified to be paid. The minute someone that you share this opportunity with decide on their own to buy whatever it is that they want, guess what? You get compensated. You get rewarded for doing something that we do every single day. So that is what excites me about Shaw Fremont. I can share that with everyone that I come into contact with. Let me tell you what really drew me to Shaw Fremont. And some of you can relate to this. Sometimes you are part of a company and you're not sure if they're going to make it or not, but they're causing you to spend money every day. And everyone that you tell this to, they have to spend money. I had situations where people were spending money every single month. They weren't busy. In some cases, it was maybe even their fault. But the reality is that they were spending money every single month. They were getting products that they weren't using every single month. We at Shaw Fremont say those days are over. No more of that. I feel comfortable with sharing Shaw Fremont with everyone I know, because I know for a fact is no way they can get hurt and get caught into that stream of thinking and that process of spending and not receiving. We're getting products and not using them. See, you only buy what you want and what you need. And if you don't get it this month, then you'll get it next month. There's no big deal about it. What John has done is remove that stress, remove that fear of having to talk to people because you don't know if it was going to work out. Here's the thing. If you share this with somebody, it doesn't work out for them, it doesn't cost them anything. And that's the beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen, because so many people have gotten hurt. So many people have gotten jaded because of being in those situations. Well, no more. Come a part of Shop Fremont. All you have to do is go to www.shopfremont.com, find out from whoever shared this awesome opportunity with you what their username is, and you can become a part of what we do. So that is why we're here every week, sharing the love of this wonderful company, because we believe we have a platform here now with this TV broadcast to let people know about it all around the world. Over 160 countries are going to hear about Shop Fremont. And then the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to become a part of what we're doing? So I encourage you, I implore you, I admonish you, please sign up and become a free member of Shop Fremont, and then decide what you're going to do with it. If it's a lot, that's great. If it's a little bit, that's great. There's a win-win-win-win-win situation all the way around. No one can get hurt, and you have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. So I'm going to take a quick break. And on the other side of this break, you are getting ready to be blessed. You are getting ready to get information about something that I feel is so important, but you're going to get more than that. This young lady is so impacted with information, so talented, so gifted, that you are going to receive so much today. So I'm encouraging you, while we're on this break, to go and get something to write on, get your pen, get your paper, get your pencil, whatever it is. You want to be typing on your computer while she's talking, you can do that. She is the most exciting guest I've had on this TV broadcast for a while. She's a phenomenal woman. She is not only beautiful on the outside, but she's beautiful on the inside, and she has an unbelievable, beautiful mind. I just love listening to her talk about health issues, nutritional issues, because she's an expert in those areas, and she does it with such passion and with such wisdom that I promise you, you are going to get a load of information. It's going to literally change your life today. So on the other side of this break, we're going to introduce to you my special guest, Liddy Flom. So right back, go ahead and tell all your friends to come on and sign up to GMAP1. We're here every week at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, GMAP1.com. So come on back. We'll see you on the other side of this commercial, where we'll have our special guest, Liddy, share our heart with you. Part of this wonderful TV broadcast. We're here at GMAP1.com every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Central and 10 a.m. Eastern. And we're so happy that you joined in with us today. I have my wonderful friend on the line with us. I just want to give you a quick overview just a snippet of this beautiful person, because there's so much that we can talk about her. And I'm between now and next week, because I got her to agree, ladies and gentlemen, this is so special, that she will come on, because there's so much that she has to offer to be on this show as our special guest 2 weeks in a row. So she will be back again next week. So I know you're going to get filled with stuff today, but she's going to be back again next week. So here we have Liddy Flom. She's out of the Georgia area. She's a certified nutrition consultant, a certified biofeedback technician, a certified advanced isolated phase release management therapist. She was born and raised up in the Midwest. Hey, there you go. I figured she decided to go to the sunshine, to the Georgia Peach State, but she's originally from Minnesota and grew up in a big family with 11 siblings, something we have in common, Liddy. Got to talk about that. I have 11 siblings in my family as well. Her parents came to the U.S. after World War I, and Liddy has been on a tear ever since. Liddy is a woman who has a relentless mission to change the conversation about money and health, and empowering people around the world to take responsibility for their own physical and financial prosperity. Liddy became one of the 93 top earners, over 100,000 in 8 months in Isagenix. This is not unlikely that she did it in 4 other companies. That is such a current trend in this company. We have many individuals that are being on the part of Shaw Fremont that has been a part of companies that did great in some way, form, or fashion. Those companies was not able to sustain them for one reason or another. I know John Austin had his downline taken from him over 3 times. I know Dr. Stan Harris, who our company's trainer, has had it done to him. We have other individuals, leaders, Mylan Wason, who's had it done to him. We've had Tassel Daly, who's been in situations where it's been done to her. All of these leaders have had, and here it is, we've seen it again, where Liddy's been a part where she has done awesome things. So there's so much more I can say about her bio. Her message is simple. I'm going to be giving you more snippets about her life as we go through these next couple of weeks. But her message is simple, powerful, and life-changing. So with that, I'm going to introduce to you my friend, Liddy Flom. Liddy, are you there?
CJ, good morning. Good morning. I love what you already said. Be a part of the solution, not the problem, but we have to look at what we buy into, right?
Absolutely.
We kind of have to become aware.
Yes.
So good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being agreeing to be on the show, Liddy. I'm going to give you the rest of the time. You can just, you can just chime in and just share your heart with our audience. I know we talked about you talking about a specific area, and that's that yeast beast called Candida. I know our audience is going to be just blown away with that information, but I want you to start, first of all, letting us know a little bit about yourself and how you got into Shaw Fremont, what it means to you, and then educate us. Give us the wisdom that we need to know about this whole area of Candidas so that we can go there and help change lives as well.
Well, good morning, CJ, and it's everyone listening this morning. And I'm going to say this, that I believe that we all get a wake-up call, yes. Right? So I'm believing that today we're going to be talking about some things that might happen in your life and some things that have happened in your life. And if you can embrace that, you can erase the challenge if it's a challenge. And if you take a look at what we resist will persist. And so as I took a look at my life and look at all communication, all information, and it's for me to assess and evaluate that there isn't any right or wrong. I just need to use discernment. So if I can just say this morning to those of you that are listening that my journey is no different than yours. Right. I want you to know that I have a personal journey I'm going to share with you today. And my personal journey is that I know that my journey around this yeast beast conversation already was something that was challenging me when I was young, in my younger years. I had no idea. I just complained for a minute. But what I can tell you is that when I got to the point of where I was then becoming an adult, I had sore joints. And then after sore joints, that turned into I've got to figure out what's going on. And I was diagnosed at age 26 after we had our first child that I was going to be in a wheelchair in 10 years. And at that point in time, I just thought to myself, there's no way that this baby in my arms is going to be pushing my stroller and changing my diapers in 10 years. That is just not going to happen. And I remember just really thinking about the fact that it wasn't up to anybody else. If it's to be, it's up to me. And so I had to take a look at that, and I started my quest. I started a deeper quest. And then we got to the 3, 6, 9-month checkup with our baby, and she was not doing well at her 9-month checkup. I thought to myself, I can't even get a child to 1 year of age before I have what's called, I'm up against it. So, CJ, that's part of my journey. I was born and raised on a farm. My parents are from the Netherlands. They came into the United States after World War II. They discovered freedom. They discovered opportunity through adversity. And that's when they were being invaded. And they discovered the American soldiers. And they took them into their home, and they put them into their cellars. They put them in their barns, and they took care of them. They applied tourniquets. They fed them. And they learned something about America. And that was where you can get land. My father wanted to go into agriculture. He loved the soil. He loved the land. And so I say he wanted to, pursue that quest and that stewardship for the land and realize that America was that opportunity for him. So the only way he could get here is that you had to have the financials of the family that was going to sponsor you. And his father was a banker. And as a result of that, he had a friend that came to the United States during the war as a stockbroker. And this stockbroker literally went to the livestock yards, bought the livestock, and then sold it. And that was a stockbroker. So it's not what we think today, but it really is what is called kind of like going full circle today, understanding that he wanted to be a part of the solution, not the problem, and has taken a look at livestock in that way, took a look at the land that way, and then, raised all of us with integrity. So I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's such a wonderful story, and I was educated with that, and I'm sure our listeners were too. And I think him coming here and being part of the land, we hear a lot of statistics about how we used to be able to get our nutrients and vitamins and minerals from the soil back in the day, Lydia. And I'm sure that probably what it was like when your parents came here. But that has changed, hasn't it? And tell us, how has that changed over the years, and why it's causing us to raise havoc in our health and our physical well-being in this country?
So might I just maybe add a thought? We used to eat around the table. We used to have meals together as a family.
Yes.
Well, I know that has changed already because of what we've done with our busyness in our world. We had a garden. So from the garden to the table, we say now from farm to table, right? But within 30 minutes of being from the garden to the table is how we ate our food. That's not happening today. What's going on in the land? My father said he always wanted to stay organic. But he said, you know what, we're going to go broke because what's going on in the neighbor's yard comes into our field. And that just doesn't, we're not going to be able to farm. This is not going to happen. So we had to start taking a look at, you have some of that force, if you will, that comes around you. And then realizing that you can do the best that you can. You can actually be responsible for the soil that you have. But realizing that if the soil was depleted, then the food is depleted. And if the food is depleted, we become what is called a victim of circumstance. So he saw the whole cycle starting to break down, and he would read the prevention magazines at the dinner table, and he would talk about the fact that we needed to eat, the seeds out of the grapes. It was called pycnogenol. And we were like, whatever, Dad, they're not tasty. And we would park them, on the side of our mouth and spit them out after, dinner. But guess what? Today, we buy grapes with no seeds. That's called hybrids. So we started to take a look at hybrids, and there's a monopoly around that, and we can't even reproduce, crops. So we're starting to take a look at maybe some ways that we are being held hostage here. And, it's an awakening call. It's seriously awakening. If you're paying attention to the details, the little things are going to become big things. So I think that what I want to share today is what we can just go back and reflect upon, and you might have some ahas like, I never thought about that. Or, there were watermelon with seeds, and now I buy watermelon with no seeds. And how is all this starting to play out, right? So we go back to say, what is really happening? Where's the monopoly? Where's the control? And, are we going to have options left? So what happened as the food quality began to diminish, and back in the 1950s, they saw what was going on, and they knew that there was going to have to be a whole new industry called supplementation industry. I say to people today, as I consult people, that Supplementation's not an option. Supplement first, then eat for pleasure. Back to you.
Okay, wow. That is an eye opener for real, because I never thought about that, and I love that term, supplementation. I always say this, you know what? I owned a vitamin store, and my biggest slogan right in the window was always prevention is better than cure. But I also come to learn that prevention is less painful than cure, is also less expensive than cure. So why not supplement and give your body what it needs to avoid all of these diseases that we're facing today? You're listening to GMAP1. We're here every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We encourage you to tune in every week. We have our very special guest today, Ms. Liddy Fromm, who is an author, a keynote speaker, has spoken all around the world, very successful in what she does. And Liddy, what I want you to address now, and again, I wish this show was 2 hours long because there's so many questions I want to ask you. But this issue is personal to me because I'm one that has battled with the yo-yo effect of gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing. And one of my problems is that craving for sweets. You mentioned the deterioration of our foods in our country today and around other countries as well. But that aversion for sweets, for sugar, for foods that are preserved, have all kind of preservatives in it. And this is causing something inside of us to rise up, isn't it? And it's causing us to suffer. Tell us about this yeast beast, and let's get into that conversation, because I think that's so important for people to hear about.
So, CJ, absolutely. And I'm going to say that is the very cusp of all healing conversations. I'm going to make it simple. As we begin to think through this whole process and understand one simple fundamental: living food produces life. Dead food produces death.
Wow.
So sugar craves more sugar. Sugar becomes the food to feed the beast. The beast is the yeast. So what happens, I'm going to go take us back to what happened, right? So what happened? In the beginning, you were conceived. And the conception, when that happened, it was two cells that became attracted to one another. And so you can say the most important years of your life were the 2 years before you were conceived, because that was an environment in which it is that these cells began to multiply, divide, and so on. And then you were born. And when you were born, with a leaky gut. So the lining of your stomach as it had peripherals in it, holes in it, so that you could actually grow in utero. When you're born, that's a piece of the equation that has to be completed. So now knowing that when that has to be completed, the only way those holes are going to be plugged or the lining of the stomach is going to be completed is through the uptake of colostrum. If you were not breastfed, you have a leaky gut from the moment you were born. Now, this is really important. You have to say, well, now what? Well, there are solutions. And the solution is it's still colostrum. Colostrum has to go and heal what is called that leaky gut, because the undigested food is going into your system undigested. And so it produces what is called a food source, undigested, that is going to begin to manifest into some fungus or yeast growth. And when that so-called metamorphosis begins to happen, you have some issue in the tissue. Now it is that you experience some pain. You might have some poor digestion going on. You don't feel great, and you have sensitivities to different foods. You have allergies. You have food sensitivities. You have joints that ache, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go back and just share with you a little kind of like epiphany about my journey. I'm 13 months younger than my elder sister. I was born breech, and my mother and I nearly passed at the time of birth. Now, it's critical that you're even born vaginally, so that is absolutely critical for the part of health, and you want to be head down. And as a result of that, it has something to do with your cerebral fluids and everything that's actually needing to all be ignited. So that was not my birth process. And as a result of that, there might have been something that went on and that I'm now living with today, right? So then my mother, I was quite close behind my elder sister. And as a result of that, and all of that just happened at birth, I may not have gotten what is called the proper healing and completion of my stomach lining. I've always felt like there's something maybe crawling under my skin, or my joints would ache, or sometimes I would have a stomach, ache. And I would complain a bit, and I was called, like, you're just whining. Stop your whining. And when you know something's wrong, this might be a grandbaby that you're talking about. This might be somebody you might just say, there is something going on. Right. Let's go look at this. Right. This is so important. This piece of this equation, I ask adults today, were you bottle fed or breastfed? They're like, seriously? Nobody's ever asked me that question. I say, well, I'm going to get to the core. I'm going to get to the core. If we're going to get to the core, we can restore. If we can go from a degenerative state of being and know that our body can regenerate, if we do not get to the core, we cannot get there. So this is so critical when it comes to this whole full equation. So later on, we went skating when we were every Sunday. That was, Mom got to have some time for herself, and Dad would take us skating. Right. I was always aching. My joints ached so bad, I wanted to go to the warming house. He'd say, get out here, keep moving. And I was like, oh, he has no idea how I hurt. And that continued throughout my life. And then I finally knew that I was not making this up. And I really did ache, and I hated cold to the point in which I'd have the heater on in my car that it was so hot that my legs were on fire, my skin was on fire, and I still had pain. So I couldn't even think about, I cannot be any colder. So as a result, it was all this conversation. So I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And they told me I'd be in a wheelchair. And it was aggressive. Here's the distinction. Aggressive means is that you have something that's deteriorating fast. And so whenever you hear it's aggressively growing, here's what you know. You have abnormal cell replication that's happening faster than normal or superior. You have inferior cells replicating rather than superior cells replicating. Right. See, it's not difficult. I tell people today, fear not. We're just talking about cells. We're just talking about cells. If we can get to the core and we can help them restore, and then you can replicate superior cells from an inferior state of being, your body's got a warehouse. Right. It's got a warehouse full of brand new cells just waiting to tap into the warehouse. So the next thing you've got to do is you've got to kill the beast. So I was told, I went to a seminar, and I was looking at the seminar because it was an arthritis seminar. And they had this word on this flyer that said Candida. And I said, you know what, honey, can you go with me to the seminar because, they're talking about arthritis. If we have to do something, we got to do this together because I'm going to need some support. And he said, okay. And I said, and they got this, thing on here. It says Candida. Looks like there's an epidemic or something coming from Canada. Now, I'm laughing right now because I'm telling you that I was that naive. Right. I did not know. I was working for government. I did land acquisition, feasibility studies. I wrote council letters. I did, use the calculator a lot, and multi-million-dollar projects. I did not know about nutrition. Right. So, even though we did. So, back to you, CJ.
Okay. You know what? It's so funny you said all this because as you're speaking and you're telling me about your naivety, so to speak, in a very, not to be disparaging, but the reality is that, Liddy, no one is telling us about this. I mean, we get something wrong with us, whether it be an ache or pain or a rash or something, and we go to the doctor, and the doctor will give us some kind of medication, or they give us some kind of pills, or they give us, perform some type of procedure. None of our doctors are telling, or even other people are telling us about these things. I mean, we won't hear about this unless we have individuals like you who can go there and share with the world what to look for, what to when you see these things happening, what to do. So give us an idea of what we should look for as just a regular person out there to know that something is wrong. Or what kind of signs are there to know that this yeast beast is there, or even that we have an issue with our health that we can really take care of nutritionally or naturally?
Oh, CJ, you really said something that opened me wide open. Can I just say this?
Go ahead.
I bargained. I'm going to tell the rest of the story. I bargained for my husband to go with me, and I said, you know what? They're probably going to talk about arthritis first, and then we can leave because it's A, and then Candida is C. I'm sure they're going to do that. Guess what they started out with? They started out talking about Candida, and arthritis was like down the road, right?
So you had to
Guess
stay.
why? Because you just said something. So I am right now looking at the book that's called Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About by Kevin Trudeau. And it was published back in 2004. And on page 345, it talks about the disease, like main causes, and then some natural, remedies, right? I'm just going to read the titles of the main causes and just make a couple statements.
Okay.
Acid reflux, heartburn, gas, bloating. Here's the cause. Candida and parasites. Acne, hormonal imbalances, Candida, parasites, and dehydration. ADD, ADHD, Candida. High fructose corn syrup. Allergies, Candida. Arthritis, Candida. This is the first word, not second. So heavy metal toxicity and parasites. Asthma goes trapped mental, emotional, and it says Candida. Autism, viral infections, heavy metal toxicity, Candida. Vaccinations. Back pain, dehydration. Bad breath, digestive enzymes, overload of toxicity, Candida, and parasites. Bladder infections, it says bacterial infection, which is what we're talking about, and virus and fungi, which is Candida, and parasites. Goes on, talks about various things, chronic fatigue, Candida, circulation problems. I'm just going to read the titles. Constipation, cough, dandruff, depression, diabetes, diarrhea. It goes on, gallbladder, goes on to gout, to heart disease, to heartburn. We talked about that. We Hep C, blood pressure, high cholesterol, inflammation and pain, dehydration, and kidney stones, dehydration and Candida, liver, Candida and parasites. Are we getting male erectile dysfunction? Candida. Migraines, dehydration and Candida. MS, Candida. Obesity and Candida. Pain and inflammation, dehydration, blockages of electromagnetic pulses. We can go on to snoring, dehydration, sore throat, Candida. It goes on, right? And then he summarizes, and tumors, Candida.
So what's the common denominator? Candida.
And so it says,
Go ahead.
when you look at 100 very sick people with all different diseases and illnesses, you find common denominators. Virtually, this is the way it reads, word for word, virtually every sick person is dehydrated. You might be drinking water, but you're not hydrating. That's not in the same sentence. Drinking water and hydration does not work together. You have to get the penetration across the cell membrane, has to go through the water channels and the aquaporins to get to the nucleus of the cell. And that is why hydration drops go into distilled water to make that happen. And water's the carrier. And then it says the next sentence. It says, virtually every sick person needs cleansing, right? Of course, water creates the cleansing process when you put it in distilled water. And then the very next statement is virtually every sick person has Candida yeast overgrowth. Now, can I just say one more thing, CJ, about what happened on Saturday? I got a text message and an email. It was about an article that was posted in the New York Times. It says, deadly germs lost cures. A mysterious infection spanning the globe in a climate of secrecy. It says, the germ, a fungus called Candida, preys on people with weakened immune systems and is quietly spreading across the globe. Over the last 5 years, it has hit a new neonatal unit in Venezuela, swept through a hospital in Spain, forced the prestigious British Medical Center to shut down its intensive care unit, and take root in India, Pakistan, and South Africa. Recently, Candida reached New York, New Jersey, Illinois, leading the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to add it to the list of germs deemed urgent threat.
Oh, my goodness.
The man at Mount Sinai died after 90 days in the hospital, but Candida did not. Tests showed that it was everywhere in his room, so invasive that the hospital needed special cleaning equipment and had to rip out some of the ceiling and floor tiles to eradicate it.
Wow.
Everything was positive. The walls, the beds, the doors, the curtains, the phones, the sink, the whiteboard, the poles, the pump. As is Dr. Scott Lauren, the hospital's president, the mattress and the bed rails and the canister holders and the window shades and the ceilings, everything in the room was positive. So here's the question, right? What is this beast? This yeast beast is within our body. What is AIDS? What are these fungal elements in our body doing? See, antibiotics do not kill fungus. They only kill bacteria. So if you take an antibiotic and you've taken the antibiotic, you've already suppressed your immune system. Think of it like this. You have killed your front line of defense. You have no army. And when you have the next invader, this is called a fungus, a viral, a mold, spore, something. It's in the air. It's everywhere, and it can grow. And when you're breathing that back out and you're taking that back in, it's in the air. It's everywhere. And we have now, this thing growing massively here on the planet, and it was all designed to be taken care of. This is why we have to become a part of the solution by taking responsibility for our own body. And we don't need injections to build a strong immune system. No, build it. Your body knows how. Your body knows how to sort and abort. It knows how to assimilate and eliminate. It knows how. You have to unblock the blockages, and you have to create pathways to get the job done. This is our victory day. This is why CJ, I am so thrilled about being on this call with you today.
Oh, my goodness.
Because, the stress, the antibiotics, the improper diets, and there are solutions. And there's a product through the company that you spoke about today, Shop Free Mark. They have a product that's called Activate. It literally will destroy the beast inside of you that acts like a parasite.
Okay.
It will literally eat the food before you get to eat. This is why you can't lose weight. This is why you cannot,
Lady, hold on right there. I want us to I'm glad what you said, because as I anticipated, 1 hour, in fact, less than that, because I'm gonna eliminate the introduction next week so we can have the whole hour next week, just so you know. I knew 1 hour would not be able to do it. I'm taking copious notes here, and my mind is being blown with this information, but I'm glad you said what you said just now, because I want to tease our audience a little bit. Just tantalize them a little bit. I hope I can use that word online, Mr. Pastor. Just a little bit. Get them excited about what they're going to hear about next week, because we're coming up on the top of the hour, and I do want you to, to close us out, but I want our audience to know that next week we're going to come back and talk about some specific things about how you can find a solution through this awesome company called Shop Free Mind, where you will be given specific protocols that you can do to deal with a lot of those ailments. I mean, every one of those ailments, maladies, sickness that she mentioned, the solution was Candida and dehydration, Candida and parasites. All those things were the reason. So we are going to come next week, excuse me, and talk about the solution. You mentioned something just now that I know is dear to so many people's heart. If it's not you, you know somebody that is overweight. This country is suffering from too many people being obese. And I hate to say it, I know it's something that my family struggled with. And so I want us to come with some solutions next week. What are the things to look for, and how we can get that weight down, how we can stop our bodies from going into shock because of waking up not being able to do the things that we were able to do a year ago, 2 years ago, and wondering why. So, Liddy, I know there's so much more that you have to offer, but I want our audience to make a commitment to tune back in next week to gmap1.com. Tell all your friends that they have to come in and hear about what this wonderful lady is talking about with so much wisdom and so much passion, because I know that's your heart, is to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. So you can tell us a little bit more about what we can anticipate next week. Don't give us all the nitty gritty. Just give us a snippet of what we can expect next week as we talk about some of the solutions that we can offer our audience so that they can live a healthier life.
I just cannot wait. I want to just share with everyone right now to say, you know, it's time to take your blinders off.
Yes.
Take a look at all possibility. Know that the solutions, they're simple, they're powerful, and they can get the job done. So here's the most important thing. Become a partner with yourself, and then partner with the right, let's call it, movement, so that we can have a revival and we can revive everything. And we can not just survive, but you can thrive. And when you start to look at what your body can do internally, now I want to say this to you. Think about mental acuity. Think about like just starting to drop weight. Think about the fact that you're going to have what is called no longer having to be on a sustainable, like I have to have these meds and I have to have this. No, your body actually just says, I want access. I want, and you're not even going to be interested in the sweets anymore. Imagine you walking away right by them and they don't even bother you. It's going to be changing your taste buds. It's going to have waste be eliminated from your body that you're going to wonder like where that came from. It's going to look foreign. It's going to be like the beast that is the yeast is going to part from you, and you're going to have a new way of living. You are going to be ignited from within because that's the power that lies within you.
Wow.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you so much, Liddy. Wow, that is so rich and so powerful. I was blessed. I mean, what you shared with me today was just, and our audience was just phenomenal. I know people are starting to really perk up right now, and I'm sure they're getting excited and anticipating what you're going to talk about next week, because there are so many of us that need to hear this. Because you know what? Sometimes people just take vitamins even and nutrition without even knowing exactly what it does, and you just break it down, Liddy. You make it make sense. I mean, talking about water, I know a lot of people that drink sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8 bottles of water a day, and they think they're being hydrated, and they're not, because the water is not getting into their cells. I mean, you educated me on that, and I am so thankful for that. I am so thankful when you talk about the fact that we have to eliminate and have to, get to the core so that we can restore our body and let the body do what it is designed to do, which is to heal itself. You know, I'm a very simple person. I don't have the wisdom and education that you have. But what I love is that by being a part of Sharp Free Mart, we are able to utilize the wisdom, the education, the knowledge that you have to share to the world, because all we have to do, and this is a message to you, ladies and gentlemen, all you have to do is bring people to this type of a platform where they can come on this TV show every week and hear wisdom, information, knowledge like this that can literally change your life. We have calls every day with the company, and I'm going to encourage you to do this. I'm going to give my audience some homework, Lydia. I've never done this before. This is going to be the first time. But here's your homework. I want all of you to go to our website, shopfreemart.com. I would preferably like for you to go into the person site that told you about Sharp Free Mart. But when you go there, click on the products, read through some of these products, and then what Lydia's going to talk to you about next week is going to make so much sense, and it's going to mean a lot more to you. So I'm going to encourage you to go to www.shopfreemart.com / the username of the person that shared this with you, and come back next week to hear about solutions on how you can live a better, healthier life. And we probably even throw in there how you can benefit from it financially as well. I think we have a couple of minutes at the end of the show, because, you know, there's so many people out there hurting in so many areas, Lydia, and that's why I am so admire your passion, which I really I connect with, because I have the same passion to really make a difference out there in the world where we're touching people's lives in a very positive way. But next week, we're going to talk about some solutions where you can get specific information on how to attack that beast from within. And Liddy, I'm going to leave you the opportunity to share. We have probably about 3 minutes left. I'm going to give you 2 of them, and I'll finish up with 1, okay? Share with our audience something that they can take away. So I want our audience today to know that there is a breakthrough. If you haven't gotten a breakthrough yet from hearing what you've heard so far, you will have that breakthrough next week. What would you want to leave with our audience on today?
be educated, come to know, take your blinders off and look at all possibility. And I want to invite you also to go to 200diseases.com. That's 200diseases.com and read about Candida. I have every single person, I promise you, every single person, go to 200diseases.com and read about Candida. And they're just saying, they call me back and they say, wow, I just got an enlightening conversation happening. I have so many questions, but you know what? I saw solutions for everybody. And really, that's what they're talking about. And this article that was in the New York Times, it's laying it out. If we don't take our blinders off, we can just take a look and say the suffering is going to continue and the solutions become more difficult. So I have to say I parallel with what it is that you said, CJ. It's, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. And it's easier to take control of that today. Just take control of your own destiny. Know that if it's to be, it's up to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Liddy. I want to thank our special guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard from Miss Liddy Flom all the way from Georgia, who has a heart to make a difference in this world. She has a heart to touch lives all over the world. And I'm telling you, I don't know anyone that has as much energy as she. I know John Austin is a hard worker. I know Tom Green at the Home Office, they're hard workers. I know Dr. Breakthrough is unbelievable. My goodness, the energy that you bring and the passion that you bring is just contagious. And I'm telling you, our audience have been blessed today. So thank you so much. I know you probably got another call to get on to, and so I'm not going to keep you any longer. I look forward to you coming back next week and sharing with our audience how we can attack that beast, that yeast beast within, so that we can live a healthy and productive life. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for our audience. We want to thank you for taking time out of your day to be a part of our show. We want to invite you to come back again next week, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, gmap1.com. Let's go there and share the love of Sharp Fremont. SharpFremont.com, 200diseases.com. Go there and make a difference. Thank you again, Liddy. I love you. I look forward to our call again next week. We will see you. Have a great day. God bless you. And we're signing out.
Thank you, CJ.